are you Dylan Blackwell? And Mr. Blackwell previously was here, entered a plea of guilty to the agreement was for a cap of 15 years in prison. I've received the pre-sentence report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any additions or corrections?
Mom was 21 when this occurred, and the girl was not yet 17. She was 6 or 7 months shy of 17. I don't. It was very stupid and irresponsible, and hormonally insane. I don't know if he's been living underneath a rock or what for the last 5 years, but he should know someone that age cannot consent.
Let me ask Mr. Hoffpower, or what I have read in the pre-sentence report, and there's no statements of interested parties, and so the victim or family, no one responded to this. What I'm reading is that the girl I guess here's my question. I don't see any allegations that this was not consensual. Now, I obviously understand that legally she cannot consent. So I'm not talking about legally, I'm talking about factually consensual. It appears to me as though it was factually a consensual party-in. They actually reached out, the girls, to Mr. Blackwell, if I'm correct. Go see alcohol, want to party, and all the things happened consensually, factually. Am I correct on that?
That's the understanding. Now, if we go by just the defendant's account, which is in the PSI.
But we don't have another account. And so if we don't have another account, then I guess my question is, why are we even talking about, and let me tell you something, Mr. Blackwell, what you did was absolutely stupid. But when we've got a 21-year-old and a 16-year-old, when the 16-year-old's the one that reached out to go party and do these things, do I feel like there needs to be some punishment, some rehabilitation, some better judgment calls? 1000%. Do I feel like I'm going to send this young man to prison for that? I mean, Mr. Hoffpower, I mean, is that what you're asking?
Your Honor, we just, with the cap, all we have, I can't speak to why they did not respond to probation. We were ready for trial. If you remember this case, we brought this to when we were ready to go to trial.
Right.
And so when we notified them about when the sentencing was. Now, the account by the defendant is, there's still no attrition in regards to whether or not that they can't consent, even when he knows she can't consent, he acts like it was what the court's acting like it was. He picked up someone and didn't check with her how old she was. And it seems to me that he's not acting like he did something wrong. It's just, I just picked up a girl off of Instagram and brought him out to party. And I don't see whether there's any, acknowledgement of guilt in this. And I believe we're here, he pled guilty.
Well, he pled guilty and could go to prison for 15 years, so that's some acknowledgement, I would think.
Now, also included in this, Judge, is the court has received.
I have that, and I'm going to get to that in just a minute.
As to the other, I can't speak to, we've given them notice to when the hearing is, and they've been called by probation.
Okay.
And that was the plea, was the cap to avoid a trial. So that's what happened. And the state's just leaving it for the court to make that decision. We're not arguing forcefully for prison time. We're just leaving that at the discretion of the court.
I mean, no matter what, Mr. Blackwell now is going to have to register as a sex offender, going to have to go through treatment, all that stuff is going to be out there. And I don't want anyone to think that what I'm saying is that, Mr. Blackwell, that I think what you did was okay in any way, because it's not. I just don't think this is the case and this is the set of facts unless there's something else that I'm missing for some lengthy prison sentence, when, we're not talking about a 12 or a 13-year-old. We're talking about someone that was almost legally able to consent, reaching out and.
I think the court needs to know there is one other factor that adds to this, that videos of this act were posted online. So a 16-year-old in sexual acts were posted
Right.
online in this case.
But who did that? That
That is
wasn't-
something that was to be proven whether or not,
Who posted
It was
what?
posted.
And yeah,
but
that's.
it was posted.
I mean, it was a ridiculous situation. It was. I mean, I guess, Mr. Blackwell, tell me how you feel about this.
My defense, I did make some irrational behavior. I should have been more level-headed about the situation.
I mean, you understand that no matter how willing someone is, you are the older person and have to make better decisions. So tell me what's been going on in jail. Looks like we have last year, looks like pretty much every single month, just about, you had some type of write-up. April, May, June, August. August was a bad month. September, November.
Most of my cases, I was talking after red time, or when it was time for me to get up, I ended up oversleeping, so I received verdicts for that.
But if you, you're right, but I mean, if you can't follow rules while you're in custody, that doesn't give me a lot of good feelings about whether you can follow rules if I give you a probation. Does that make sense to you? That you're coming in front of me. Of course, since you've pled, you haven't been in trouble, so that's a good thing. Knowing that you're going to come in front of me and possibly go to prison for 15 years. I mean, I think I've explained my position and why I have this position. And again, I don't want you to think that I think what you did was okay, because it wasn't. But because of the situation and because of the ages of everyone and because that there is absolutely no evidence that this was factually not consensual, what I'm going to do today, Mr. Blackwell, is I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. But today I'm going to defer all proceedings and place you on probation for a period of 10 years. You are going to pay a $1,000 fine. You're going to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation, which means being on the sex offender caseload. You will have to register as a sex offender. And you will have to, you're not going to be allowed to have social media, at least for some amount of time until I say so. I am also going to order that as a condition of your probation, you enter and successfully complete the cognitive track of the ISF program. That means you're not getting out of jail today, right? You're going to a program that is designed to teach, especially younger people, better ways of thinking and decision making. And I'm hoping that when you do that, you'll get out and you will make obviously better decisions. be successful on this probation, because the opportunity that you're being given today is huge. You actually do not have a felony conviction on your record. And I'm not doing that for you. I want that clear to everyone. The reason I'm giving you a deferred probation is because if you violate that cap of 15, it's off the table. So if you violate your probation, I can sentence you anywhere between 2 years in prison all the way up to 20 years in prison. So this is your chance. I don't want you coming back in here later and saying, well, I need help with this, or I tested positive and now I need help. You need to ask for help ahead of time if you need help with anything. If you're drinking too much, if you're smoking marijuana, I don't know whatever it is. If you need help getting a job, if you need help with where to live, you better ask those things and not get in trouble and then come back and ask me for a chance again, because this is the chance I'm giving you. Do you understand? I do need y'all to do, before you leave, I'm going to hand you a trial court certification that shows this was an agreement I followed, and so you've waived your right to appeal. Y'all did not fill out the sex offender registration paperwork. You're going to need to go over some paperwork before you leave the courtroom today and sign it. Mr. Vasquez will go over that with you. It explains the process of sex offender registration requirements. It's very important that you do that correctly for two reasons. One, it's part of your probation that you have to register as a sex offender. Two, it's the law that you have to register. And if you don't, not only will your probation potentially be revoked, you'll also have another felony offense. It's that serious. So that's to protect the community, so that I feel better about what I've done today and that everybody knows that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Do you understand? All right, here's that certification. If y'all will get that other done before he leaves the courtroom, please.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Are you Kimberly Bertrand? And Ms. Bertrand was previously in court, entered a plea of guilty to the state jail felony offense of driving while intoxicated with a child passenger. And I've received a copy of the pre-sentence report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
We have.
Yes, sir.
Any additions or corrections?
None that I discovered.
Obviously, everybody understands probably what's happening today, right?
Yeah, she's real emotional.
Well, okay.
And she was, right, so I told her to calm down.
That's probably a good thing, because you weren't crying when you showed up to your PSI under the influence of THC, methamphetamine, amphetamine, benzodiazepines, and methadone. So we're going to make sure and give you some tools necessary to hopefully make it where you can be successful and stop being a danger to everybody else around you while you're driving, right? So I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty previously, freely, and voluntarily. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time, I'm going to follow your agreement. I'm going to find you guilty of driving while intoxicated with a child passenger, sentence you in accordance with your agreement to a term of 2 years in the state jail prison, but I'm going to probate that. You'll be on probation for 4 years. You're ordered to pay a $500 fine, and you're ordered to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. A condition of that probation is that you're going to enter and successfully complete the SafeP program. You will go into custody today. You'll be transferred to SafeP. You will hopefully get all of the tools necessary in order to be successful on probation. You've had a probation opportunity before that was revoked. You're lucky you're even getting this opportunity, but I'm not going to consider not sending her anywhere today. Okay. I mean, she tested positive at the PSI.
No, I didn't know about it this morning. I was just going to suggest if she could, like, do that. It was indicated to her that she would do colors, which is where they phone in.
Well, and
I was wondering if she could do that until after Christmas.
No, because the problem with that, and I know it's no fun to not be around for Christmas, but it's also going to be no fun to not be around for 2 years if you violate your probation. And it's really not going to be fun if you continue using and continue driving and kill yourself for someone else, because then it's going to be a whole different story that we're in here talking about. And that's the path that you're on. So this is not necessarily meant to be a punishment. This is meant to help you be successful while you're on probation. Obviously, you can't do it on your own. So we're going to give you the the tools. I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, and so you waived any right to appeal. I've also handed you a written certification regarding your
You want me to give-
ineligibility.
I'm sorry. You want me to give this?
Yeah. I've also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read the written admonishment I provide you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long it lasts, you can talk to Mr. Doyle. Good luck to you. I hope you take advantage of this opportunity. You can go with the bailiff.